And of course, we have another special video with Anthony Fantano here today, and it's going to be a cool episode just because we're going to go through albums that you haven't reviewed before and get your opinions on them. And the first one is no other but a classic. It's Graduation by Kanye West.
It's an interesting album because when it came out, a lot like, I mean, obviously there's hits off of it, but a lot like 808s, it wasn't as best received as it could have been because a lot of people, a lot of hardcore hip hop heads who were riding with Kanye, obviously through College Dropout and through Late Registration as well, kind of saw him as going pop on this record.
Okay.
You know, it was seen in a way by a lot of purists as him kind of like, you know, running away from the genre that born him in a way. Now, of course, like in retrospect, we can look at that and see how silly that is because, you know, it is a hip hop record at the end of the day.
It is.
But, you know, you have to consider like for that time period, how crazy and jarring of a song like Stronger was.
Got a range. I don't want you to give me like the exact number, but a range of like how would you rate it? I know just like out of anything.
I mean,
like,
at least an 8.
At least an 8.
Yeah,
Okay.
At least an 8.
It is undeniably a classic album, but maybe is it overrated to you?
Yeah, I think it's a little overblown for what it is. I mean, I think it's a club record. You know, I think it's a bling era club record, and it was really catchy. There are a lot of very, you know, infectious, viral for their time, well-produced songs on it. But like, you know, is it the best songwriting you're going to find on any hip hop record of the 2000s? Is it the best lyricism you're going to find on any hip hop record of the 2000s? I don't think so. I mean, the beats were certainly more entertaining and intriguing than what we had on Encore, you know? You know, but personally, I prefer the beats on like, you know, not just the Slim Shady LP, but the Marshall Mathers LP as well. And I guess I would rather also listen to Relapse than freaking all the super clean radio friendly anthems on Recovery, you know? So
it is that good. So let me ask you, like I did for the other albums, rough score, what would you go with?
Probably about like a 6 range for the record.
More like, yeah, above average, more or less.
I think it's there are some serious high points on it, you know what I mean? But the record is also super chaotic and kind of a mess.
So how do you feel about the record?
I just don't think he's, you know, kind of a part of the meta narrative of the genre really. He came out with a solid record, but you know, I don't think it's kind of made the splash that it could have, you know, like the most influential and revolutionary balls to roll within the genre of R&B were already kind of moving by the time that record came out.
Same question for you. Give me a ballpark score for it. What would you do?
I'd probably give it a 5 or a 6. I'm just kind of
Around
indifferent toward it.
Yeah. How do you guys feel like it stacks up with like the best of Future?
I feel like not focusing on this record at the time was a, you know, big fucking mistake on my part around that time. Cause it's a banger. I think it's a great tape. You know, it's like everything hits so hard. And sure, what you say is true about like, he's kind of experimenting with that psych stuff a little bit, but this record is nowhere near as like, you know, low key and as one note as a project like DS2 is. It's a really tight project too. You know, it's like everything that you need. It's nothing you don't. It's no bull crap. It's just 13 straight bangers, you know, track for track.
Bit of a ballpark number. What do you got for it?
I would give it like a 7 or 8.
Okay.
7 or 8. That's pretty high.
good. Do you consider this one of your favorite J. Cole projects?
So, I mean, so yeah, you know, it's a great mixtape because it's just really a freaking quality album, you know? And I mean, I would say it's at least a 7. It's a good project.
Okay. That's very
good. So how has it lived on with you right now?
So, you know, I think the purest and best record he has is that first Meet the Woo. Meet the Woo 2 has its moments. It's fine, but I feel like it's not, you know, as good, but I suppose it's really you know, something that we should still appreciate on some level because we don't really have that much material from him to begin with.
That's very true. So what's your ballpark on it? What would you give it?
I would probably give it around a 6, but I would give the original Meet the Woo probably a 7 or an 8.
Okay.